have ADOT Communications, Amy Rossler. Okay. Rond that Casey Miller in Leiden with ADOT Communication. Rond that Kim. Okay. Leishin Oliako. Rond that Rick. Rond that Lloyd Zakoti. Lloyd. Okay. Sheen that Matt, project manager. Okay. Leander, Ishin Konanako, project superintendent. On that Eamon Heifer.
Yep.
Oh, hi. Okay. Area engineer in Lindako. On the Taft Black Horse. Is she department manager? Henry Begay, highway engineer. Way down, okay. Lola Smith, citizen, Jason Yazzie, Navajo Route. Steve Moore, Monroe, I mean. Okay. ADOT Construction. State on that thousand launch Ako Asian hot echo. Adon that Diko Nikide ya jo kode community members not Lania Nik A Concate out Nigi Nikide ya kwa en Habit will as a Leko. Hashinet la Naiti kitchen when no do Hashinet la Halit out ya Dal Dato Halit out the Anishwins and Shiko. A couple day to the larger but I have named Phoenix then has added or Adon Navade Window has added the initiative to introduce the daily and listen Leko. A co Asian con Hashil so Dahad net or lake Hashil so she did Eastern Hotel Nil. A couple Isol start or little, I don't the his $1,000 little, Joe Echo. A co deco presented that little, I don't the they will be given at least 15 minutes. Each presenters will be given 15 minutes. A co B, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6. Hadai Zihigia. Kodon is Chan Hodol Lifiki has died also. Bekadon if you have any questions or if you have anything to say, go Bekado in Has Adol Likia. Ado a question on Hadon Abone ad Lenit Am. Ako Ehut Edol Litako ad in the in Hadhan on Lita Ibayadad Kiko. Ako ade ya di ko han lenegi jo ho hashin so ya ni chot at leneko di ko N20 han lenegi do adon the highway 89 han lenegi jo ko shin ba ya tik do le don is shan ko do ni leneko ako hot ela hosh nako ako hot a ko ni chodish at leneko adon the ya ko nasnan shidole ya proposal meeting ishin ko shata ko ni chido after Eastern Navajo Division.
Thank you, Shata. My name is Floyd Stevens. I'm the chapter president for Coppermine chapter, and we're holding this joint meeting today to share some information with you as community members of Bodaway-Gap, Coppermine, and G chapters. And we have up here some of the agencies that are involved in road repairs for 89 and then also the construction of N20. And so this is what we want to present to you because construction is starting. It has already started yesterday, and it's going to be going full scale probably next week. And from that, you probably will be wondering what's going to happen and what are some of the things that we have to be aware of. So that's what we want to share with you, your expectations, and then also the expectations of the construction contractor and then some of the other transportation agencies that are here today. For your information, the contract was signed on Monday. FNF contractor and then the transportation agencies of the ADOT and then also the Federal Highway Administration, and then with the blessing of the Navajo Department of Transportation. Deployment started yesterday. You can see some of the equipment that are already hauled in, heavy equipment, and also they have started working on their water ponds. And they are starting at both ends of the highway towards the Chi and then also here by the school. And so this is going to require some expectations of you and then also your expectations of the construction crews. And today we are going to give presentations, give the opportunity for the contractors and some of the other transportation agencies to give you some updated information, and then also some of the schedules, what's going to be happening within the next 4 months while this construction is going on, and also while the repairs to 89 are being made. So the guests we have here that are going to give presentation, I'd like to ask them to cover some of the items that we have come up with, and maybe you can put it into your presentation. And some of these are like the construction schedule, the duration of the construction, hours of operation, and the holiday schedule, and then safety precautions. What are some of the safety precautions that are going to be in place? Pilot car flaggers, traffic delays, the length of them, and then also worker considerations as far as safety, and then speed limits, water ponds and livestock, school bus schedules, and then also covering 89. I think if somebody could fill us in on the progress, the testing, the evaluations, and also the schedule for that. So that is all of the some of the ones we came up, and also to maybe address some of the community concerns that we have, such as open range and livestock, fencing of ponds, the large truck traffic for hauling materials, and the hauling on the highway and on N20. And one of the always a subject is broken windshields. What to do about when some of the heavy trucks hauling gravel breaks your windshield, filing claims, contacts, procedures. And then another subject is environmental damage, the vegetations, the land, the water, the air, and then the maintenance of the road during construction, dust control, signage, such as for 89 during the holiday season, and then also for tourism. And then also the groundbreaking, I think there was a date that was mentioned, and then what's going to be taking place. So those are some of the subjects that we asked the presenters to give to you as community people, so that you will know all of this while the construction is going on. And so we would like this to be an information sharing and meeting, and then also we'll give you the opportunity to ask questions at the end of their presentations. And then also what my nephew brought out about asking questions. If you have questions, and I think a lot of them, the questions you have may be answered with their presentation. But if not, then we'd like to ask you to ask questions that are related to the construction and the activities associated with it. So that is what we call this meeting for. And then we tried to schedule this during when it's convenient for everybody. And as you all know, we have graduations going on the week, towards the weekends. So we thought that nobody's going to have graduation on Wednesday. We were wrong in that people moved up their graduation for Memorial Day weekend, so everybody's going to have their graduations over by Friday. So some of them were scheduled today. So we have some staff that are absent, and then probably some community people are still at their graduation. So, but we wanted to schedule this meeting at the beginning of construction so that everybody knows what's going to be going on, and then also the groundbreaking, which is I think was scheduled for June 7th. That is another ceremony that will be held too. So with that, turn the time back over to my nephew, and we can start on the presentations.
Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and go on to the presentation, which is going to be 8, FNF Construction. Leander?
I'm going to go ahead and start.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Steve Monroe. I'm with the ADOT Flagstaff District, and I'll be the ADOT construction engineer responsible for the project. Since this is it's an ADOT project that FNF is working as our contractor, I'm going to try to cover as many of these questions as I can, and then if we have more specific questions, I'll let some of the guys from FNF answer those. On my little list here, one of the first things was the schedule of the work. It will be Monday through Friday and on Saturdays. In an effort to speed things up as much as we can, we'll be working pretty much around the clock. There'll be both day and night shifts going. There'll be nights on Saturdays? Okay. So you'll see a lot of activity kind of around the clock out there. Like was said before, we started the work yesterday. We hope to have all the paving done by the middle of August. The rest of the project will hopefully be keeping up with that, but at least the roadway section is scheduled to be done by the middle of August. We may still end up finishing up the cattle guards and right-of-way fence and some smaller items that are off the roadway after that. But the paving is, like I said, scheduled to be complete by the middle of August. As for holidays, as part of the contract, the contractor has to be off the road by noon the day before the holiday and can't be back on the road until the morning of the day after the holiday. So like for this weekend, they can only work till noon on Friday, and then they have to be off of the roadway itself. Now they may be on the shoulders continuing some of their work, but it won't affect travel on the roadways. And then they can't get back out there and affect travel on the roadway until Tuesday morning. Same thing will be for the 4th of July weekend. We realize the 4th is on a Thursday, and most folks are going to take that Friday off as well and make the big 4-day weekend. So we'll do the same thing. They'll have to be off the roadway by noon on Wednesday, and then they can't be back on the road until Monday morning. And we shouldn't have to worry about the Labor Day weekend. Let's see. So with the amount of construction that's going to be going on, there will be an increase in the amount of traffic on the roadway. Of course, there'll be, for the most part, on the dirt section of N20 will be the big construction equipment, the scrapers and graders and some of the stuff you're not necessarily going to see on the highways. However, in order to get materials up here to the job site, most of that material, at least initially, is coming out of Gray Mountain, the material source down by Gray Mountain. So there's going to be an increase in haul trucks of various shapes and sizes coming clear from Gray Mountain all the way up through town here and out onto the grade. So in addition to you and your personal cars on the road, you'll see the haul trucks coming loaded coming north and empty going south. Okay.
Dishi Batrashne Tadeshnishiki Bahwint Iniki Edi Ejolgeheki Steve Monroe Jolia Eda Che Banjil Nashnagay Kisando Aroha Hotzogi a construction engineer Shinjila Ado D that is Nishiki Yam A dot A Yisi Badat Ishne. It's an A dot project Jujine Ado Hatadish Nishiki Yam FNF contractor Ishi Nanish Bilag Adet Ishi Mandi at Akut Egonal sauce Hatadalia Dobe Lada Asli Ado the inishiki joy down that is nishto Monday don't late Friday the inishto late Saturday dosa ada inishto ado the initial he kedo late 24 hours she a odoji a godoji go the inishto late Ado August August and aunt was she will begin and aunt was a nature your car go she agent that's it's good ole Ado Agent Squadolic Ado di Naltlosh which ahant egi cattle guard on the hegi yam ashi oyo okede that's it hil destole Jubini nangi she yam a name the belazli of course she a material egi she in the bakada lia a shimpinina oyo akedo katole Ado the holiday had Ninigi don't done the show Takijin that didn't jid an atle a gishi a at Friday a snina argent she Adoshi is natole to ain't that nishta dole a dot that go a yam a tinigi bits Igi right away will yeheki Ajigo does the inni adat in the annishtole Ado 4th of July Okanez do holiday Jo a Thursday go holiday Okoshi is do Wednesday is lina aje Ado she net will netole Ado yisi a yam tin da aje higi do the innishiki Bahuint esto di chide danska benda anishiki graders that down the hegi ede Ashint o hayu atkigo banan nishtahalon dole I sin sago ado a wizard at only ede the Grey Mountain holiday the bede she ade she heki dole according to it so diesel da yeheki ishi la ko asnana jadole ko da ye dole adon lady ya da ye do adonat I get not a je dole biye eight ego at sabah jolne
So to continue on with the haul trucks on 89, one of the sites that we're going to use for the mixing of the asphalt itself is about 5 miles south of Gap. And there's a big wide spot in the road there. There'll be a lot of the haul trucks will be entering and exiting the road in that area, exiting the highway. We will have the speed limit slowed in those areas, and the trucks will be, instructed to watch for, pulling out in front of traffic on the road. But just be aware that there'll be quite a bit of traffic just down the highway here. Go now.
Aroba nazo zige di kujigo kisan jigo atkinigi bitchent ajigo yam ado yeah Ashi ajishi etao netole atkinoni kadigi asphalt isnanigi Ashi ado atot na heki tole di shi ba konasin dole ashi hajogo nda je dole speed limit shi yahodol ni jo edo ohot ego nihil johot ado di yisi ben hilhanege nihinakha nihil beho zindole okon jonedit ko et nakha istego dit ego yen hilta halnegi yisi yat
And it's been brought to my attention that a lot of that hauling will be at night. So there'll be trucks at night and during the day on the roadway. Out on the construction site itself, out on N20, in order to get through the various construction areas, we will be utilizing flaggers and pilot cars. So watch for the workers stopping traffic and then follow the pilot cars going through the construction areas. On some of the side roads where we can't have a flagger every place along there, we'll probably have just a sign that says stop, wait for pilot car. So you'll have to wait there till the pilot car is going by and then fall in behind them.
Aroba nazo zige di nda yehigi tritso ishin o da yisi la nda yedole ado jigo do shia kut edole ado construction site le yisi nda anishige banda anishige ishin flaggers wali ationa zinle sign that they jaho ako en clad danigo da sign de jahle adok adens or the what that hasno sign that they tinhle ado pilot cars or the hegi became was all the water. Should have a large in the waterki, big eho, the ajehigi, Asian is the halon or lay. A caution not al clit or lay. A team band by the initial, the quid she, Anazago she a team, nature that el calo, Ashina hot not or lay. Since the Trago a team, she bought the initial at one time. So Ashin Zago that's she didn't nadal clit or lay. Ado the flaggers will hegi to Bahas Ango go a chide a large as nana luoki halod or lay. Ashe yam Baconos sendole, chide as though as nana luot or lay a large pilot car will hegi.
And let's see. Because of the using the pilot cars, and once the full operation is going, it'll be about a 3-mile long section that's under construction at any one time. And then that 3-mile long section will, move basically from the south end. We'll start working toward the north end. Because, like I said, you'll have to get through that 3-mile long section via the flaggers and the pilot cars. Do expect some delays getting through there. So I'm going to ask everybody that when we get to, as the project's moving along, if you know better ways to get around the construction, take those, because it'll take you, a long time to get through the construction area. So we're hoping that you folks know some of the back roads and other shortcuts or whatnot that'll keep you out of there, so you're not delayed by us and we're not having to slow down to get a whole bunch of traffic through.
The teen EC by the initial children's idole pilot car lihagi she big eho big na ajit ole Tradet is a trago she by the initial ado kodo nare ultra sa ando ado she by that dish nistole ado late copper mine bitch go ajuda inistole Ako anazago she banda anisto jo tradet is a trago jine Ako she anazago nikitna azindole AD pilot car she a non-hit issue ado flaggers da ado anzago zindo gibits achat egoda na big achatino digi shin chino idole nikis behozano big achatinigi eshin achino idole haladi IC shin la nsago da inistole to ashinizago nada al tledole eshin hot egon hilchina hojna
With that said, that doesn't mean you can't use the road. Just keep in mind, it may take you 30 to 45 minutes to go that 3-mile stretch. So hopefully you guys can help yourselves out there. This week, some of the work that has started was digging 2 big water ponds that will serve as the main sources for the construction water along the route. Those water ponds are filled with reclaimed water from both Tuba City and from Page. So there's no drinking, no swimming, no jumping in the water. They will be fenced to keep livestock and so forth out of there. So just keep in mind, that's construction water only.
Atkin banda an show she to ocean hayut ile a conare to nestes de do page de she twitching that could agent they lost that when the yetas dole. E she bahas ado sakado le ado binta behedo ado dat lando Toshin Chorgate and a retunestis don the page del she a course or here's la go.
One of the concerns on the list here was school bus schedules. Hopefully by the time school starts up in August, we'll have 99% of the road finished, and that won't be an issue. If there are summer school buses going through, we will do our best to give them priority to try to get them through as quickly as we can. I do believe we have a schedule of those buses, so we'll know when to expect them and get them on through. And we'll kind of have to play some of that by ear at the beginning, but we will be considerate of that. We don't want the kids being late for school.
Chilson that Jagi Elchinin de Yehagi Asian Yam Esto August the 2000 associate I Jono Dole Ato Ultra Elchini Hana Jeho Ado summer school on Yehagi Shingo Ultra Gishi Yam Monday Doshi start that's it the very page a bus Athana Lawagi Asian Yam Aba Queens and Dole Do Ashi Besna and the show and Skate of Roshi Athana Lawa Dole Doshin Diego Nazas Zeda Dole.
On the subject of broken windshields, if you feel that it was caused by debris left on the roadway, there is a procedure you can do to get your windshield attended to. There's an office in ADOT called Risk Management, and I wasn't prepared for this question, so I don't have their phone number. But Amy, if we direct them to the hotline and they have a problem, you could get them that information? Okay. There would be a number of these flyers that are left at the chapter houses. We're going to put them in some of the local businesses and so forth. The flyer has the project hotline number on there. If you have a problem like that, by all means call the number, leave a message. Someone will get back to you and give you the appropriate contact information for ADOT Risk Management. And then it's kind of like filing an insurance claim. You deal with them and they take it from there. We at the project level don't have the ability to deal with that, but there is an office in ADOT.
Akoneba nazo zigi chide windshield tesson aid dishin tsiritson da je hoshin bits ano da edo da ta wisda at kingo shijao her window had out is still she dinal so the con late at Henderson then she hotline phone number she baka in le hoyata she which I had also risk management she algashi asati she because do it tinyan dal she do ayan dal nishta she asati because she algae insurance claim insurance she ayo abik estate halan.
Another concern, one of the community concerns was environmental damage. We've gone through some training on the project level for everyone who's going to be out there working We know we've marked out the limits of the right-of-way easement out there. There have been a number of avoidance areas, whether they're cultural or archaeological or biological, whatever. You'll see some like fence posts pounded into the ground with like a yellow rope and pink ribbon around them. Those are all avoidance areas. We know to stay out of those and so forth. We will also have, at any given time, 2 different environmental monitors kind of patrolling up and down the site to make sure that nobody's disturbing those areas. Any areas that do get disturbed that aren't supposed to be disturbed, or areas that we're going to use temporarily and then move out of, will all get revegetated, reseeded whenever the project is over.
Mr. Blackhorse, do you want to address this one?
Okay.
This is your, this
Okay.
is his expertise.
Yad ado hido. Where ataso kehi chapter president Mr. Perry Slim and Mr. Floyd Stephen, and the rest of us that are presenters and that are going to giving our area of expertise. So yad shik when hisokai initiate Taft Black Horse. In Navajo Division of Transportation, Panash, Nishto, Aro, Telhautan, Balatin, Ade, Kinsa, Ade, Khani, Kai, Jason Yazid, or Rick Bastis. Ako Dikwe at him, and yes, they had over Listo, Vegeta in Nishto, Lisi, Jukwe Ben Hilhadne. Ako, Aje, did him Sadlahi, Hast El Nahi Benache. The quick was in his case, could only abide over any 18 Saza has Anja, the Quay, that gets either national 88 Danata, adults and the Shimpan yet as card. A Quen has any ABK, I Yelha chief or little Habanos and Lord Lil Adonan Chil Hashing, and Setting Linito. Adat Edanat Adana Sato Edo Queba Hanosino Hadan Hadas Adolis Hindale and Stone Hidden that Jahi Ada Hajon Hilbel hasn't Dolis Akoi Hajoba Hanosino Hausido Yelanda Jato Lit Hilnoi Oda Akoi has Anibe Ben Hilhorne Akoko Didi Chide Yelanda Jah Adjekata Hot any shik Sukwasun Ako Hajo Beata Hosliato Chin Atlantis Halaque Atinin Hasht El Neto and Kahatal Nehi Jukadi Yego Niole Sedo Sage Bethniol Ako Nal Cloto Ben Ye Atin Kon Hasht El Nehi Hajob and Rahonosendo Hajobe Kehbel Kham Ata Hosliato Hajoto Hatan Hosit Tankilnoi at Tankilne Hale Kumbata Haskito at Hinquain Hail Daily Hajob and Nacha Ahe Bahe Nosano Ahata Hajob Kahina still Bain Hato Nilon Junon Hato Telohash at all Nil Johada Kaheben as the Equator Minyan Nani Kaigo Ahadat Ehi Bahosliado Lil Adoti at Hibeta Inishi Jokoi Yego Beta Dejnish Ako Kwani Lola in Hitchahota, the Heil Kedo Hahor Jido Nakin the Sea Cheat of Andolis, Target Trashin the Zedolis, Yegunda and Nisho. Ako say was it all the Behotol Klaite Kiko Hajoy Bakunos and Dolis, Ani Kudosin Yananish, which is not a ka, that in Nisto that was Nisho Aquay Hajoishi Aquay to the Khan Shapohatanet Zango Aquay at Hashes or Gaso, the Jonas, Jokurun Tahadil, good of Adenan Shohaho. Not Al Cleito Hashin Zashokoton, تخطين دهالجن إغرا تستين دهالجن أكو أشي تشتين دا أجيهن نعمنا الإيتولي أكو كدوتا بنينا نشتا كتو خاو هجو كويبا أكو نفسن دولي أكو ألاج أتلا أكيل كنا أكيل كتا بنيه خاصو جوي دونا تلوي أجي دو خاص جو هتا كنا نشنا تيوتا ديتو هجو باكو نفسن كلنو كلنا أكو هجو هنخصيتو آدو كوي كين بدا إنيشي بك آن خايدة خطا جي هجوني آجي كيتو هتني أكين دانتي آن لي بالله أكي هنتي وطلو دو تشتاغل أكو دي كونتا نتا التلي دو شيطان دون كالزين دا دولي دو هتا نخبا آهن نفسن دولي كلنو كلنا أكو دي كوي بندتين نشي لهو نصرزي نهزان دو تشلقاتات زيت أن لون دا كونتا هتا هالزدي جو هتا تهندا الساسو بي دا هزن دولي لي بنية هتا بين كلنا ديشنا كو يات دو كيهتو آهن تصور
Excuse me. During the construction period out there, FNF, the contractor, will be, in addition to building the new sections of road, they will be also maintaining the existing sections until we get to that point. Right now, I believe it's been a combination of NDOT and BIA taking turns, and we'll be taking that duty over from them shortly. And I think they're out there today, and so this will be the last week or so that they'll be out there, and we'll start taking over the maintenance.
Chuk atin khaya haliani ke chupia edo inda ya haliant hajo njino nada hazito ada queen count jino na tin la ado na hotowal ADG maintenance will yahigi HA FNF contractor shin Ashi ape ya tahaliya dole atin aya nada hazito ayat ehuna tin nada asho.
One of the concerns was dust control. That's why we're putting in the water system that we're working on right now. That water will be used in addition to helping to build a new road, but also for dust control in the areas that are being maintained or that have not got rebuilt yet. And signage during the construction. Like I said, we're going to try to discourage the use of 89 or of N20 to outside travelers. Some folks still, use it as a shortcut. One of our thoughts was to put big barricades at each end that say road closed. That's kind of road closed for everybody else. We want you guys to know that if you need to go around that and use the road, you can. But again, we want to discourage non-local folks from being out there. So there will be some other signs, some new variable message boards on 89, warning of the increase in truck traffic as well as the fact that N20 is under construction.
Dust control lihagi sage bithni yolagi do bithahadi yolagi ADG bits jo tohagi beniyet chose a chon idole jo 18 base nesto toshi lad ado di koenda nisho ashi yisi ntago da inishtole a koko nate da ijehiki a khade da ijehiki ado hajo di atin chida yos ida dole ishi hot ego san be da nas nil dole a konke da hat inigit eya connect atin chida yos idole khalat dit a yisi yego shinda desh nishti tra the start trend as it go a hot edole.
Is there questions for folks? That's all. After all the. Okay.
Okay, Kurshide ya kwel FNF Construction kwelde ya National Hazard Olde. So the next one on the agenda is B, Federal Highway Administration. Amen.
Hello. Hello. I wasn't expecting it. My name is Evan Heyer. I'm an area engineer for the Federal Highway Administration. I'm going to be very brief. I don't have a lot to say today. I just wanted to let you know who I was and be here in case you have any questions at the end for me. Federal Highway is funding this project. So far, we expect project costs to exceed $40 million for the design and construction of N20. We have authorized a large portion of that money already. Essentially, mainly what I wanted to say is I would just encourage you and encourage you to make sure your family and friends are aware of the project. Obviously they are, but please drive safe out there. Every year, thousands of people die in car accidents. Thousands more are injured. Nearly 1,000 every year die in work zone areas. And this is going to be a lot of construction. It's going to be a very aggressive schedule, and it's in an area where we're not quite as used to, where you're not quite as used to being so much construction. And so please, expect delays, plan ahead. Don't overcompensate for those delays by driving faster through the other sections, and just be aware of your surroundings. We want to make sure this is a safe project. It's aggressive. It'll be done quickly, but let's make sure that we're safe out there. So I'll take any questions at the end. So that's it.
Federal Highway Administration, Washington, the U.S. Department of Transportation, budget, Michigan. The budget, and I want your base of being on the shaky sheet. I just emergency highway repairs. A couple testing the main sagito tego a course pato little George na ako the dayat o hazot data shapit he benda in the city a rising solution that Asian short ado sin that Asian city stoko quickly or dodge not in this story no ako aroleta de no city da il sadiki do pa na azile ko Iran zara na azile ko jo edikiri ya pada sinaro le halan na stigi sibin na de ya ere ota ya ko do pa jod na do na le kidi shedi for the han or kidi da ya na should have kidi has arol tini.
Go back up to FNF Construction, Leander.
So they were basically here to answer questions after, if there's any specifics.
Okay. So, we'll go ahead and go on to D, Navajo Division of Transportation. Daryl Bradley.
He's not here. I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ostaleto, toen kies iedereen en hij zou het gaan niet ja. Annie, o dat is wat je na het doorleest niet hey. 80 jod hajoben kilpehasen do de lon khas ke nan shin de kwasan DD jod 89 ayo stage de shoden ta hunes taho ebni na di kat N20 kudo bar we don le kap ban le cheat in the page at the tini 18 ba at nahi ako kudo ba jo hota ita o pohdes ane ta photo ba photo ni so athin pen don nishi to hodot lishi ete yada tlacho to athin hunes tlato ayo ta hal joden big khato hosten huya joy at ego peso hajopa hinel so do pehozon testing the meal inside da honza ili git hat abenda in sho akoni a khaita inni storlis ako ajel athin ayo nest hodo el joden joy ta de hajona khatona hane dai pesoi on hato le lo sej khait khone anato tsil ben tsil do li hi behest dod ni so khad dod ni si aram da khat na dod li si joy ta de hajon na nel o e aaj ben yenda al khatan lani aaj ben na se de yosen ako aaj ben yenda al khan yena khago na se de yosen ben na ko jo thin ko jon khail li est el nei a khon ne dod li ako anni the more is da sha acquired temporary construction easement via Anley Gallup Sharon Ajabasnat in al Sosipit Yahadasi, Ildo Quepinda and Nistorli. The team Quetor, the Sto Hajo had a dog, Lily, Big Ehope has only that in Linny right away that a aid at the Hajona, Sosipet Laslin, Ado Ape, Ako the FNF Quebec Hodeni, and need a Catlata. Na nishina de ado bit eta dosnish juhta bada wil now akondi kujo athin beto lesot kha ne ben yehuido at mixing table site you could trat sense transin shata asati kwet ay annahun thilale ajo ye joy aje ben yeba in aje ton arrows casino na ajos khaz aje Asian DJ RDC Resource Development Committee Ajin Lini Ebet Khao Netho Lehi Ebet Nato Lehi join Kodon ke base one sa anan Lini to Winsana Jenny Ajiban Nanish Ildeo A Ket Naga Ako Ebe Indi J. Kinko Ekodonal Sos bin Yahar Nada do Nito AAPPRA Belek Anado Athlete Nada don ni libish in Nado, Lily, Anado, Lily, Edi Quedat is again at the Akundi. Chidat so, being that on is Nito Gate and Lenny to attack Quebec Hot. They a quay been ye a quen had Nislodly. Had been that in the sheep in ye. Ako a Anida Injet Nahon, Baseline as link from RDC at all. Jo 88 at all. bin yet hajol kif ena hot sing te que ade be khao ne bin yehuido ali jo a sa bije be sport khao to ni jo hat ai bin hat ado bin da hoit a hon za hodan genan shi ite nilsen ako is khado shin da jo be na hot sen do dil kade bin shali do aje be swans an lini na ajos anid aliagi ton arrows aje bin ye aje min ye sahal ho qadlan da ai khahado qadran bi na ajos casino hatnani hajoy bin ye aliado li joy bin ye aje min an sinadan tle akundi kodon ke beso has anan lido RDC aje ton ye haichi do li akoy ade hanni da handa di tsingta dis anosin aje tskinto de do tskintin di ete ako hata in na nishin le ako kwe di hata bin ye ne kan he in da de ko do da de be ka ne cha do kwe na so khata ne to bin da to nishi bin ye jo ni de kwe ben kil ho ta de ka de ye go bin da din na sho era he il ke do le سيج أدات هين خا أدولي أدا خديت أيدو اللي جدت صوتي جيهيتو إي أشيتا إي والدولي توني هيدو كيلو تو تي وزبه بين هيدو كيلو كاتو تين بالنادا نسو كاتا بس داول زندولي لي جو كاتيني يولي بنينا سيجي دو سيبسنتي يوليتو ياش خونتا أكو إي كوي أدا بهوت أتو بنهاتا إي كوي هجوبا هشتي هدول نيل تون هيدو كيلو بخا هيدو كل أهن تون هيدو كيلي جود لا تون شو إيدو لي بنيه جوي آتاي كده هدا بدا إنيش آتا هدا الكيسن آرود آناس خورج جو كدو ألتخا الشندا ألتخا دو شتا آخا هدول جسن لي نهو كونش لي مونكي ريتش هول يه آجين آتا هدول لش أكو نديل خا دو ناول نني بك أهو تخا لدوز الشين اللي دول ليل إيه دو هدا إيه ناولني أي بانغوي كدوم تندا جي يego هجو هتان خسيدو بيتا أتخليا جونيو كدو ين كيجي يالتكي أكو يego بيتا إيجن سو أكي الكيدو إيه دو هجو باكو نصن دوليل آجن كنانس نداس نشيتو جت آجي بيش بزولتو تدياتي آجي كنان شين دي نصن دو قلت خطا أتات هيدو نانش آجي بيج جون كنان شين داخلين دون دا هوسنيش دو نانا جت أبي غايب نان سولت أكوي إتشن هدا أكي الكيدي هدا دا إنيش دوليل أكو إيه كوي باخو نصنا خهلا إيه دا تديشاتو خهلا ناشتاتو ديل دو خهلا تحنا تديشتاتو نان شوي نانا شتاتو ديل جو أكون دي آد هجون جنو إيه بانستا كيسوي بنيهش دي تنخل زندو ديل أهدا أشتي تنخل زندو إيه كيخبيهو زميدو نانتلاقو إيه هدا إيه باخو نصن آدو ألتخا إيه كوجي إيه ألتشندا ألتخا نت إيه هندي جو ساي شينغو دا ألتخا أي شيء قد أخذ غالشن دان لني أي آدا أخذ أي جو كون شن بناكه أي اللاج الطوي بان صاحب كيسودل أي كويلشن أخذ نادي كيو أي اللاج بخو يدو أجو دان دا أجي تودل ديرو أخذ خاغو هدا أي يجو هندا نيمشو أكو أكوي هجو حليته والجي بيدا أخياني كهيبت ناستو هجو بيو خبا أهنو سندولل أكون دوي لاني إستيد أندي شكاي آج تبغندو آج هتان بنكنان شداس إني أيرو بستخلصنا دون هيس خيدندي نخين كوي بنيان هيسو خيدو دا إيديل سنكلون كيسبيدا هدوزين نصني جوين هيسو خيد نعم بنان استخلو نيشين استقنينا أعرف نهيس خيد أكون دي هتاي هنئين كهن نليبوي بيبستخدوسنا إيه هذا بعدخمينست إن له هذا بعيات كده تهنيدو هذا نخان نهادن كليدو دكتور إيه ده هذا بين كده حديث هذا إيه ده آجن ده الزتون الكلونشين ده ده بندا النسو أنت تقولي جو هذا الكي هذا الكي نوتا أكو كدوه بين كده هون كدوه تخا سنزتخا هذا بعدخو الجيش تقولي هذا تخا أنت توزل أكو نار هنادا التخاطا أبيجين تلانا إيه هذا خسلانا كو إيه هذا بندقني نشتولي جو هذا يشوفون إيه أكو إيه إبنينا إذا أكيد الكيد هذا دا إني نشتولي إيه هذا بين كيسبوديش نتون كنان شندات إيه كوي بس ندي جيش كواسن كو ياد إيه تو كيه دونا.
Okay, a change must not go there. We'll go on to E, Bureau of Indian Affairs. Roland Vicente Bacande, he's not here, so in place of that, Henry Begay and Lloyd Sakoti. Only benannt symbolich in den Deisel Kragi. Die Kunden nach has net obikedo und da Havido hat der Schene der Dischkis nach Sonda. Jord hat der Schene nach Hanoi Jakob. Kommt von hin da has net obikedo und da nach Havido Istein. Edi hot ela. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Henry Begay. I'm the highway engineer for BIA Western Agency Office out of Tuba City. I know I wasn't really involved with this, the meetings and all that stuff leading up to this construction. Roland was pretty much handling most of the issues. So, but I'll try to do my best, and but I think Roland did a pretty good job, and he coordinated with all the transportation departments, ADOT, NDOT, and also Federal Highways, making this possible again. The detour road, and there was a lot of details involved, and I think they all came to an agreement, and our maintenance people also did a good job maintaining the road with the help of NDOT and Coconino County, and that was a lot of work. I know we expended a lot of our funds on that, and which wasn't fair to other routes within the area and within the whole agency. So, but we only have one more week to go, and we'll have it turned over to ADOT. But I just like to thank everybody that was involved, and to make this happen. So it's going to be a nice road when it's done, and we'll be glad to take it over once ADOT finishes using it. So that's all I have.
BI Maintenance Department, Ajay Lanzo Sutta, Maintenance Supervisor. Alcohol. I love that word, Steve. Taking over the maintenance. Thank you. 28 years of it. Alcohol. We'll be working throughout this weekend, I know, with the BI Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Avondale, inshallah. I'm sure the FNF Construction is going to take over. That's why I said I love that word. So, I say, yeah, teen hadn't all day. I call Washington Soil. Yeah, in the Nigi Avondale jail. I call Washington $1,000,000 and then the Soil. Yeah. He just said, I could I just cash it? Oh, cash. I was at so, waited 28 years. BIA national. I just had not showed me. And that showed he wasn't that as was neither. Though not showed that they didn't. Oh, I don't know. BIA over tears at hand over the edge on it. Oh, I asked him, he's out of Washington. But I'm glad that's going to be done. Yeah.
Okay. Ako. So that I've he khagi khagi de yati tinigi ya in 20 Highway 89. Ako di san zadan khai stay ya le hostoden. So they have kind of like time schedule ya. Ado konflashin re etkin ya nada nit ha ya chuti konat an in le Phoenix Central khahas khe. Ako flashin isha etkin the nesh in ato bikin il khada shin winzen. So hut echo. Ado the first question I have is Khayla I want to know who knows who can give us the best report on Highway 89? The most update.
Me.
Okay. Where are we at and what's going on with that, or what kind of results? All we've been hearing is testing are being done. All these engineers are still doing tests, and that's all we've been hearing all these months and all these weeks. So I would like to know, for my community, where it's at, what's up to date right now. You know, I've noticed that you kind of gave your report off the flyers that we already have too. So, you know, I would like to know what's the update for the community.
In terms of what's going on in 89, they're still doing a lot of testing. No. The last word that I heard was that the geologists are supposed to have their results in a report by the end of this month. Then they'll have their recommendations, and then based on those recommendations, the designers will have to start looking at what it takes to fix the road. So we're kind of at the end of that whole, we've been doing a lot of testing time, and now we're into the, okay, they're writing it down, and I think we're all looking forward to that report to see just what they have to say. That is the latest. We won't know what we're going to do till that report comes out.
They question I think kitty ya ngai ka kije ta je tin yi chwa ke ya jida kro ta anahan ne ya ta ina ka to ta jo ba ho sin ta khan ke e ta ya hat a ko ti ka yi ze ke de ze do shin e a je e da hasin do le khit a ti be ta hasin do na ke e ya ta ba jo is na a je te Ado she kodona itish kido listide ta kodo nishit ne daidos kidiki kwesa hazne da akhit ada shi tiniki o tsidiko aliago ana achi bigato list ati benda anishta ere ya ta naidikid ishi kodo nagadish kido list. I'd like to ask a question on some questions that were asked by the community people here at the last meeting. And that is, would it be possible to let some limited traffic go through there on 89 repairs while construction is, or repairs are still being made, so that when it is stable enough to do so? Would be my question.
I can't answer that question for you. I'm not the one to grant that kind of permission, but we can certainly take that question back to folks above me. You know, and again, during whatever they decide the ultimate fix is going to be during that construction, I have no idea if that means build a whole new bridge or, I don't know if it'd even be feasible to try to get traffic through while the road's under construction, because I have no idea what the ultimate fix might be. So I don't think anybody can really answer that question right now.
Okay. Kurota ha zigi ya dodai shishu de shohalin de ediki do gazin da do kutabi ha do zigi chno ye ha to zi.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call for questions. Kodona Kiyadil, so we'll go with her and Harley. Adon Leda, ATVO president. So we got 3 right now on the floor. And, okay, so go ahead. Kodashin Dinasto, introduce yourself.
My name is Betty Slim Ado. I live up above the plateau up here, and we're like about 7 miles east of the windmill. And first, I'd like to thank for each and every one of you that are here at this table. And it's a blessing. I mean, a blessing to have this road to be built. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking your time and your thoughts and your prayers. Well, I feel personally that our prayers has been answered. Finally, after 40 years, over 40 years, we've been in the dirt. I mean, everything, name it, everything. And I had never complained to these people down here, in the Bodaway area. When I'm going to Page, I come down here from my home site to here, it's like 30 minutes. From here, another hour to Page. And now people from Cedar Ridge, they're taking my route. That's how I felt, These people, they're going through what we went through for 40 years. Thank you. And my question is to Steve. What's going to be the maximum length of time on the 3-mile work?
Right now, we're anticipating delays anywhere from a half hour to 40 minutes.
No, the length of work on just the 3-mile.
How many days does it take for every 3 miles?
How much work?
How many days for 3 miles are you anticipating?
No.
For the 3 mile?
Take that.
Hello, my name's Matt Tremblay. I'm with FNF Construction. I'm the project manager on the project. So, in an attempt to answer your question, it's somewhat tricky to answer. The way that we're planning on doing it is, there's quite a bit of roadway excavation, moving of the dirt to build the lower levels of the road to take place. Our goal on that is to complete half a mile a day. Followed directly behind that is when we make that dirt smooth. We call it finishing the grade. We plan on doing a half mile of that a day. Then that night, when we sell that, at night is when we'll put down the gravel road base that goes underneath the asphalt. We'll do a half mile of that at night. The next day is when we'll take that gravel, make it smooth, finish grade, prepare it for asphalt. And then the next day is when we plan on doing the asphalt paving. So we're planning on, you've got the moving of the dirt, the smoothing of the dirt, placing of the gravel, smoothing of the gravel, and the asphalt paving. So 5 different types of work. And we are planning on having each one complete a half a mile of work a day. On top of that, right now we're working on some different options. We will have a crew working at the north end as well. The main focus to begin with is going from south to north, but starting at the north end, we'll also have a crew working from north to south. It is our hopes right now, in order to help get this road completed sooner, we're planning on having a hot plant at the south end for sure. We're working out some details right now. We're still unsure. We are hoping to put another hot plant at the north end and be placing asphalt in 2 different places at the same time. So in order to answer your question, we'd be doing a 3 mile at the south end, a half mile a day. And we're hoping to be doing the same thing at the north end as well, so that we can try to cut days off of our completion schedule.
Okay. The reason why I ask is that a lot of residents out from Capitol area, they make their shortcut going to Flagstaff from Capitol to the windmill and through here, and instead of going all the way around to Tuba City. And it's like, that's why this road never keeps maintained for even a week. We have a well-known alternate route that is used 90% of the time when the road gets muddy from the windmill. east of the windmill. And from the end of this pave to about 3 miles, there's a turnout going east. And that is the route. It doesn't go into a resident, it just goes into the tree area. And that route is used a lot as an alternate route when it comes to when we get rain. So if all possible, we like to have a nice turnout. I mean, at least, a good turnout, our turnout to go deep, a deep turnout right there. So that's just my, suggestion there. So, and that would eliminate, I mean, if it should rain, and it's going to save a lot of people's work, I mean, having to regrade it again. So that route, it's going to be a good alternate route. So I'm just giving you or hitting alternate route over there. Okay, thank you.
Okay, lady, Harley, she know the dolly. That he bedat igdeya. I seen the roar, she now told me she in this done. I think she igdeya.
Oh, I'm ashamed. I don't know. Yet, it also. She not Annie. Don't the Quade. És a sédó dadott szatan. Iha széj séba afadaton zín, tabaks nini sészató, is péda hazin. An higi nste. Aradi kudai nahad khani, sudas aani. Ade naisot khani daw as aano. Hat ishi nikista hazin yad ehgi. Kudai dadahot. Okay, the chain out here average. The Katasudon on Jonathan has Canada. Fagandot are fed over his eye. Jabin that was niche. Alo Doda Kohane wrote the house at the hot side. Alo that at the dinner Haida are the Gina Junshi P. Okay, this say ya Jordan Zil a teen, though hard eat a ship. Oh, did she the aya? Hashil so what had the traditions. Only at that national shall add his chant that his initial at planning it, perhaps a old one. A chant is the shabby end than a chant. Kushida out, she did need Kahala of that. A craving now, it's done late, and the hard sheet, the initiative to the year, she about was young, yet Abe had this sense of Kododo. That day had a street. Canada City, she denied Lenny. She denied Lenny that she's not in her advances kiss. Our day contest of Michigan. The kiddo corner Annie of Senegi. There was no Yaro. None the pen his it or Leheg. Doviva. Naha is Nello. Oh, did he stop about this? The Bemenan, I know this, I don't hold out, I not swear, ya. Nish chong, Chadil, a Halan Hata yet, Nell. Even in Nachda lebe. She did not lean a court to the door, your between the street. Short as thousands, a high sheep, the second dusty. Even in a halebe, she dolly. I don't not animal senegi. None are naked. If the ship jet at hard with those sister. A cannot and a lone Francis kiss. Hala, big yacht hadia. Even na kon pemenan a kon the style on so go na so kan put out that image to the chart for long. It is about distance. All of us any dick so a kinia a pushing that get a pushing the antas got a craving in Nashaya to the year here it's Schneider. Da ko hanne ho hot it. Na khada ha chutle go koshi ta so kha kha to le pul so ni cha se. Kwede da city pa da hasiani ede da distance on.
Okay. Harley Johnson just kind of mentioned that, just have more precautions at the job sites and whatnot, just job safety and whatnot. So that's all he mainly kind of suggested. ATBO President, Leila Shidole, after that, Larry. Kushindina, we have a mic, record ad nest, so. Road construction, but that Ishisa.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody that's here, including all the people on the board sitting here. Thank you for being here today. I kind of got a late notice, so I arrived late, and so I kind of didn't really get the full picture of what was talked about. First and foremost, my name is Colleen Mountain. I am the president of the local organization with the jewelry vendors. But this here, me being here, having the mic will have to do as a community member first. Okay, and I want to stress that because I've been asked by a couple of the members whether I do this as a community member or the president of the jewelry organization. And so I want to state that, make that clear. This is as a community member because what has happened on 89 affects me as a community member because I live in Bitter Springs right there. So that I travel to Page, and my really close ties with the community of Page is really strong based on the fact that my spouse works there, and I have one child that attends school there, and which is just like the rest of the communities from the Bitter Springs area. So my question is, we had the community, as a community, there was a resolution that we had drawn up and passed through the chapter house here. I'd like to know, Steve, first of all, I'd like to know, have you heard about it? Have you received any word from it? Because the community liaison or the Navajo Nation liaison with ADOT was here and we addressed our concern to her. And I'd like to know if it has reached your desk or has it been discussed? Has the community concerns been addressed yet? Because we feel like we don't have millions of dollars to offer you guys, but it has really affected us. And so, we want to get that message across to you very clearly so you understand as a person individually living there, and I speak for the community, like I said, that we are just profoundly impacted beyond what people can imagine because we live right there. And I wish the people from ADOT, whoever's making these decisions, would come and live right next door to me. There's an empty house next door to me, and they could travel the route that we have to travel daily. If you have an office in Page, come join us, spend a night, travel it daily, 5 days a week. You're going to understand our frustration of how the community feels like. We're kind of left in the dark, left behind. We've kind of been forgotten. We understand that the safety issues surrounding the reconstruction. We understand that totally. But please, give us a personal face-to-face feedback. We read all the news releases. We hear all the media, what's been out there in the media. But we're just not having the person that's making these decisions come to our doorstep. Because when you stand in front of somebody and speak to them personally, that means a whole a lot, hell of a lot than just not, I'm sorry I have to use that word, but than just reading it through the newspaper, the news release. And, you know, and we want to see somebody just come and talk with us, and especially whoever is making the decision. So my question to you is, have you received any information about that resolution?
My answer is no. I have not. My office is the construction office.
Okay,
I'm not the one that would be directed to.
okay,
That would be at my boss, district engineer, and higher levels. So I'm not the one to answer that question for you.
okay.
I'm out here to work with Matt and turn that dirt road into a paved road.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Well, okay, but I did see Misty here, so maybe I should direct my question to Misty.
Excuse me.
Misty? It was okay, okay. Misty, that would, if you could, did you understand my question? And I think some of the people that were here that, the night of the chapter meeting, they're here as well. And we kind of just want to know what's been addressed or what the feedback is, any feedback at all.
Sure, the resolution that she's referencing is, earlier there was a question about whether the community could utilize US 89 through that emergency access route. As soon as we've discovered that the route is, as soon as we find it deemable that the route is stable, so the community had passed that resolution to emphasize the importance of how this incident has made on, or has had an impact on their lives. And so yes, we documented it as part of our chapter meeting outreach, and we have passed it on to our leadership. And at this time, we have not heard feedback yet for me to pass back on to you.
Okay, okay, basically that's what my question is regarding this whole reconstruction. And I've stated as well that it's wonderful, N20 is getting paid. You know, it's prayers being answered for some of the communities up there. But I will understand one day if something happens in that area and they get used to driving the paved road, they're going to kick and scream and holler as we are, because we utilize that paved road, and it means such a we have the strongest ties with the Page community. We with the school system, with the employment, and our shopping and healthcare and banking and so forth. I could go on and on about it. So that's basically, I'm only here for the 89. And you know, if you got N20 pave, I guess I got to use it. So, but as a community member, I just want everybody to know that we are pushing for local access on 89 when it's safely, it can be passed through safely. And please just remember that.
And I'll tell you, from just what I know going on in our district, we are aware that, yeah, Bitter Springs sits out there, and N20, you know, doesn't really help you a whole lot. You still have a long way around. They realize that, and unfortunately, the fix up there just is going to take some time. And like I said, we should have that geological report by the end of this month, and then that's when we'll know what we can and can't do, and that'll get the ball rolling on getting that fixed.
Okay.
And we realize it's a huge thing having that road unusable, and they're working on it.
Okay.
You're not forgotten.
All right.
I know that for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, really, Janine, after, oh, Larry. Let's kind of do one question at a person, yeah. I think we'll get to everybody. Go ahead, Larry.
I'd like to say thank you to each and every one of you taking the time out to be here with us, to give us an update of a community member here living in Cedar Ridge. Just like the young lady said, it affects me too. I even though I don't live way out there in Bitter Springs, I live in Cedar Ridge. Still, 89 going up the hill is still the shorter distance for me. Going around is just a little bit long, but still, paving this road after 40 years. It is a blessing. This should have been done 20 years ago. My question is for FNF, the roads. After you do all your work at the end of the 3 months, and after the wear and tear after so many years, who is responsible for the repairs and the maintaining of that road? Also, my question would that be also to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Navajo Division of Transportation? Who is going to be the one that's going to maintain it? In other words, resurfacing it, the cracks from the wear and tear. Number 2 question is big commercial trucks allowed going up there? Number 3 is how wide? Is it going to be shop soldier or is it going to be a bigger road like this is? That is my question. Thanks again for coming out here. My other question too is, after you're done with your geological studies on 89 going up the hill, the end of the butt, I'm wondering, maybe it's premature to ask, would there be another state of emergency funding be pulled out for the federal government? Maybe the question is to you with the Federal Highway Administration. So I do understand, I do acknowledge that 89 going up the cut is a major, major work that we probably have to tear the whole mountain down, put a whole new concrete thing. That's what I look at it. That's how I look at it. And we're talking about probably $100 billion right now. My question is, after that assessment is done at the end of the month, what do we do? What's next? What's the next step? Thank you very much.
Again, I'll start off by answering some of the questions. The question about the roadway width, the paved section that we're doing, the paved section full width will be 28 feet wide.
Which is what they have out there now on the 2 paved sides. It's the same as the final width that we're paving will be the same as the 2 paved ends are. Yeah, right through here on N20 and what's up by the Chi chapter. That's the same road that we're going to continue on through.
There are also going to be 2 intersections that get paved. I'm not sure what the proper designation of those roads are. One is up by the Copper Mine Chapter House, and one is down south, further to the south.
N20 and 21.
N21?
The old trading post. By the old trading post.
By the old trading post.
The old Copper Mine trading.
So in those areas, the road will widen out, and there will be enough room for left turn lanes, so that when people are stopped to let oncoming traffic come to make a left turn lane, they will not be stopping traffic behind them as well. As far as maintenance, I'm sure you guys are all aware that at one point this road goes back to BIA and DOT. During the time frame between when we get done with our construction and when possession changes hands again, FNF Construction and ADOT are under negotiations. We are trying to come to an agreement. We're discussing the feasibility of it, who does do the maintenance during that time. Is it an ADOT crew that does the maintenance? Does FNF do the maintenance? We're looking at that, and those we have a few months to discuss. Right now, that's unknown who will discuss it for the next few years. As far as the shoulder is concerned, the typical section will be a 12-foot lane, and it'll have a shoulder on the outside. From that point down, it'll be sloping at a 6-to-1. It's typical of what most roadways are. Until we get to about 10 feet wide, there will be the gravel section. And then after that, on the slope headed down towards the ditch line, it will be of the native material, the sandy material. So we did look at it quite a bit. We want to make sure that we have gravel out there so that there is room for a car to pull off the shoulder outside of the white line and not still be sitting in traffic.
This is Ammon Hire with Federal Highway Administration. I'm an engineer with them. I can answer a couple of those questions. Matt touched on the BIA owning the road, and you know, basically this Navajo Route 20 was a federally owned road, maintained by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. For the time being, ADOT has signed an agreement with the BIA that the road will be turned over to ADOT for this for the duration of the detour. So while they construct, and then while it is still needed as an official detour to the US 89 repair. So the road will remain under ADOT's maintenance, under their responsibility and care, as long as it is needed as a detour for the US 89. Once that's done, the road will be returned to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and then they will be responsible for maintaining the roadway in perpetuity. As far as the funding for US 89, yes, we will be funding the permanent repairs of US 89. We are funding the current geotechnical investigation work that's going on, as well as the preliminary design work. Yes, we expect to fund the US 89 repairs in its entirety as well.
Really, Yanan and Irvin, and then anybody else after Irvin? Okay, go ahead, Irvin.
Okay, Yate. You know, I'm from here, Gap Shijai, Franklin Wilson. My dad still lives here. So anyways, I might go to work for FNF. Anyways, my question is, on this road, you guys are going to start on both ends? And you guys will be running scrapers going from that side and this side? And what was my other question too? You know, this is going to be, I think this road that's going to be built is going to be an engineering, you know, challenge. And I've been doing road work for forever, and it's going to be unheard of to do 29 miles, 28 miles in 4 months. I have not seen that. In 3 months. 3 months. That is, you know, that is unheard of. You know, that Flagstaff job, it took us 2 years to do that. And from the bottom of Flagstaff to the other, toward Animal Peel, it took us a year and a half too, I think it was. So this work is going to be, you know, it's going to be really good. And it's going to save everybody's cars too. So, you know, I hope I'm part of that job too. But anyways, I want to know how many scrapers you can have running on both ends.
Hi there. Just to kind of break down our earthwork activities again, just to break it into a little bit of perspective for everybody. The amount of soil that needs to be moved up on this roadway before we can put the gravel down and the asphalt down, we have estimated there's going to be around 300,000 cubic yards. And to a lot of you know that it's a big number, but what does it mean? Basically, if you take the trucks that you see hauling down the roadway every day, we're going to move 25,000 loads of dirt. We're going to do that in 3 months. On top of that, we're also going to move 5,000 loads of the gravel that goes underneath the asphalt and 5,000 loads of asphalt. That's the amount of work that we're going to be doing in 3 months. As far as how much water we're going to be using, we're planning on using about 800,000 gallons of water a day is what we're looking at right now. That adds another, we're hauling the water in from the Tuba City and from Page. That's another 5,000 loads of water at 6,000 gallons a load. So there's, you know, I just wanted to put that into perspective so you guys can understand. I am glad he appreciates the amount of work there is. And trust me, I'm nervous about it as well, because this should take anywhere between 9 to 12 months to build this road, and we've committed to doing it in 3 months, and it's going to be a challenge. In order to answer your question, we're going to have 2 different scraper spreads. We're going to have a scraper spread working at the south end. Those will be the 627 scrapers. And then we're also going to be having a scraper spread at the north end. I believe right now those are slotted to be 637 scrapers. That's part of the Rommel construction. I haven't got into the details of their equipment. But there's also some areas where we're going to be doing some cuts through the hard sandstone. You know, the peaks and valleys that you go through right now as you travel it, we're going to try and, those will be leveled out to an extent. It won't be perfectly flat, but we're going to take the peaks off of that. Some of those are pretty hard sandstone, so we're going to have a dozer crew working out ahead as well, getting rid of those drastic peaks on top of the roads. Right now, I'm envisioning anywhere from 8 to 10 scrapers total on the job. To add, what we're doing is the earthwork activities will take place during the day. The hauling of the gravel that goes underneath the asphalt, that'll be done at night. We talked about the hot plant, the plant that makes the asphalt, being located about 5 miles down the road. The rock that goes into the asphalt, we will be hauling that at night as well. But the asphalt itself is the only thing that the asphalt itself and the water are the only things that we plan on hauling during the day. We're trying to do as much hauling at night as possible when there's less traffic, and try to have less interference with the local traffic as well.
Just to let you guys all know, I guess there was a meeting with RDC committee and Dwayne Tanajini with that easement down the road. It's been approved. So, the red twin arrows, the resource development, no, she Dwayne Tanajini, she Yishan, in a very should say very sociable and down a quite Tazaya, a question yard that it is a cartesian, a question plant, because there's net on this a co a last thing or co a quite big last legion Gida and needy what other without Bishop's and taxi in that. So, $80,000. Although the next question will be from Irene Whitekiller.
Yat Enan, Shake the Chi chapter though, the Chi chapter president. Thank you, Mike. I talked to him this morning. His better husband and Jason, you guys help us out to let us know that. And we have planning the zoning meeting. Lloyd's supposed to come to that meeting. I don't. So we're in dark about these things, but we're effective at the end, towards the end. Lake at the teen, Niki at the Junjono Nahikinha, although Lake Chi at that teen, Yaka Teeniki, where you know, where the pavement ends there by Monkey Stadium, and then from there on, there's a downhill right before you approach the Chi community. So the community members are concerned, or they're going like blinking lights saying, you know, there's residents approaching community. We got people, they like to walk, they like to run. We have horses and cows sometimes to get out there on the road. And I noticed that a lot of traffic's been going, especially in the morning. A lot of speeders. That's why we asked the police to patrol because it's 40 miles per hour. 65 miles, and it just drops down to, it was 35, but they lifted up to 40. So that's our concern, is of the safety of the community. If there's going to be a blinking light, if there's going to be some kind of a warning sign, even for the truckers, especially after the highway's built. You know, that we have people that do run, we have people that walk, we have kids. I see kids using their, those roller blades to school, or their bike to school. So the road's really narrow. So those are the concerns that we have. And I talked to Mike about it, and you guys have a design and engineer meeting in Hope Road. And he's supposed to send me an email about it. So I don't know how you guys going, I know the road construction's here, but at the other end, you know, we're at the other end. So the safety's concerned there.
Is that Mike Ambazola? Again, that's, it's not part of the construction project. If you've spoken to Mike Andazola, he's the project manager. That would be addressed through our Northern Region traffic folks. They can do the signage and so forth. So I can't give you an answer on that, but I can kind of follow up with Mike and see if there's something that he wants us to implement, since I have the contractor on board now. Again, it is a situation that we're all aware of. We knew that, as soon as we pave this, your doorstep's going to get really busy. Again, I don't have the perfect answer for you right now. But it is known, we are aware of it.
Okay.
Steve, are we still meeting tomorrow in Holbrook for the update?
Okay, it's not easy to do that.
We got a downhill at our end too.
Sally? Okay. After Sally, it'll be Floyd. Stacey, Shema, what
That is khỏe, nó khỏe sầu khói đi. That is khỏe lại lên cái she Perry, nice day that to Shinado, Ado Quan, I saw Tangi Ano Tuyat, Edo has twin cars, Kali, by Henits and Do, Kodo care with any oil, Kuya care with any oil, Ani, Chidan, Hita, then she Bagadi, Edo you. A crochet low up the pretty spring, the art shaman, a coho, the cojetti, Nagi a hair, I don't lay cut up the heart, Hingi, Dick's twin has crash up that often. I showed the unhandled knee, unhabahint idoli. Oh, okay, Yaquanis, what has no. She, in soy and dodney, I showed Denson. She that you could date him here, Asian it's about the yacht, not Dosh Lenson. Ako aji dan khabahan ni huyat I don't lay tahis ajo gazon juno that he dibla hot end cut up the belat end juno that he lay hoover danger as a year hot end and juno tin ilia akudila it's easy a hot in that 20 ma cushion feet hot in the halet to behind Eden sin ho. Or that's he not in the no. Or that's a plug or you that hide and died. So only chain without they. Don't they find the dodge hot in Mr. Delian, they patient they tinky. A call ada. Is twinnes crash up that of Nanhan Dodney, on Haza Ahata. Nahach Edod needs some bantas kiss. Dish now the star what Adoyato ins and Ashi Lash in her Jodo the Koshdo ins and Jetishando Dinson. They about this Dinson. She crossed not in Nato, these twin has Tanito. What are bet the Hayo Nanaco is in Ede Laho. Her Chinyajo Yita Jiki. Don't hito yin the hot. Don't they had she will the Ghana de Kai the hot and his ha shot in the hat in Hando net. Than his neck. Eye de aba distance. She no ya te na sha salin she salinez she. I de ya so.
She's saying forget N20 and do 89. She's my sister, so I can kid her that way. Her concern is that what was expressed earlier, what I asked about, that we added Highway 89 repairs to this agenda today in hopes that some of those questions can be answered and addressed. But her comment is that we would like to have that. She supports the effort to reopen 89, and that it is not forgotten with the construction of N20.
It's certainly not forgotten.
I have a question while I have the mic, and this is a follow-up to Ms. Whitechiller's comment a few minutes ago, and that is the paving of N20. Is that going to stop at the Page city limits, or is it going to go all the way into Page? To the junction at Big Lake, or is it going into the actual city itself?
Our project right now is just going the limits of the dirt road.
I mean, you're not going to repave?
No. On this project, no. I don't know what the answer is for the two existing ends. That's not part of this project right here.
Okay, the previous meetings that I've attended in Holbrook with the video teleconferences, that this was going to be repaved to the school, and then also down to the Chief Chapter 2 also.
I think the final decision on what to do with the existing road is still out there. There hadn't been a good decision on that, but we wanted to get the center section fixed and paved. So those are being treated separately. And I don't know the answer to that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have some.
Social art is aware. Hajon na hasne or as it gets all the comments. It says I want to sort of reiterate some of their questions that they're asking and give them hopefully a proper answer. Irene Hainsey at Etho Hedo. My name is Taft Blackhorse. I'm not Jason Yazzie. I hear us out of no, but it and the planning committee, the chief, been yet me so Kaisi added question the Naflani. Ada event question or Kate Nashnet or this. The chi area Hoya Tin or Lily, ye or in the jet or this Adonin, Kala Tohin Heki, to that sort of hot within that jet or this. Oh yeah, Earth Khadon is not at Jahan, Ayoda and Khadon at all the 2 years. The il Kato in the English stories, Joho need died 24 hours a day. Ako Jean dot that Chedi Tohin Heki to the Lord says Zeta. Banana Shade lay ye on that jet or this. Akon the Quebana, it is Kiddy that Nastrado, Kehota Ichi or the least speed limit caution that he is count open yet a Hinani Kahi there in Holbrook. And we have an update meeting. Hopefully Hammond can give us the right number. If you're interested, Irene, you can call in. Usually, what was it? 2 o'clock your time? Arizona time or something like that?
10 a.m., right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 10 a.m.
Well, let me call you.
Oh, no, they're going to give you a special number where you can call and be part of the conversation. Yes, it is in Lona, it is Kitchen Zone, when Nachas answered. Ako Ebenite is Kitty, Ako iska Holbrook to hota bin yet hineka every Thursday but that in nisho ke na han in lini. Ako kweti by yet ke lindo nash engineer joy kwe at kinohoto the aim date. Nash so see the question case in there's different sheets. Core says I do car adot say do seto na ahi kodo hanado car ako ayo adel kona halom ke ho do lisi jo ad bik ho ad kodo at him da lisi nas chadon da astoy bik ho nan she de later based on the design and drawing. That's how these FNF contractor with ADOT and BI jo at hajo case in this. The way to how the door with what's king to a door nista. Hashin zashin nahal show. A big honash, ejo quay in annish. Ye or even that onish. To that sort out the age told thee. A hat the height of Kati Jehota case in this. A big echo. Could I overlook it out? I thought what that kid or dots. She Ada what Ada. There's designs and preparation. A big echo. A cheta English. Edo hajon ke hazan order jo hajon da chaton you ketni so aron dai chitet soft the court is hado car evda se hanado car kwetsen I says nado zili ko wokidla jo e bebetatness on bebetat nor on ho bebetatness on the art in ke hatasan nilodif 80 hutabanan shedele ado bitter spring Nahayos, not an idiot, doing Nahayos, not that. Big cut was a yan, Yana Ajo, Nahastan, the geologist and Lini Aj, a hot in do, and yet that's only say Uya, had 11 in I said a hot zala, Joquay night tickets. Oh yeah, that's Trazo Behosen, and a say yet, Nasavi yet, Argent Kai geologist and Lini, a that oh hotza, Haleta a hotzala. A cotoy says be hot lord, oh Hashin, Dada, the Huistana, Ega Benina, at Hine Dohaya, Istas, Yatis, the dot, at Hine das. Ako Argent Kahin, Lidin Hastandik. Lees Jolie, Nahasan, the Haditna, Ajabal, in yet a engineer, Ajabalik and Lanslike, Aqua Didi, the Hajona nail in on. Halet Aeto, Nato, Nistai, Jo E, and the Enad car, Donner. Aqua Ahat Ehish, Halet Edat Eto, car, Ego Darat Edo, Setnan Nadat Eto, Nis. Jo acquaint a libahint, acquaint in evenina, I say upward at all. Has jost at all, Nilto hat at all, Nilto has job a cotton, not a jet or the heaping. Had abanan, a day leo evening at Handi. Had has on not cat, at a hat at a job and a hot zinta. Ben na ain't a not cat open the initiative. In 20 big an hadon, Ajay near finished evening. It's got Eliado, it's got a teenaged Eliado, and you know, a car that Ajay has Leon. Good Jim, big Hato, a Tino hot in them. It's got an Eliado, Joe Aden Dest, a Andorni, Hahada Adon, neatly at Obey Hosita, a quaisa, a quasi ritual, bitter spring, Ajay Kikas, Ani at the Domido to the Canada, he hates your Dohata. Aden ho kaki nanishin gat the orchin of Tranta, Yego Dahnes Canada. A bagway up a Zak Kadat Kinko, a date on Tran the dozer, so a Adadat meat, Anjodane, Ako and they lay kitchen, Kings of its Kiko 18, a stranger agent at the job, the night quit and the 18ish and not ordinary, Ajay Data peso, Ben that on the stove, a home door, little as 8 ordinary. Adam even unit asto. Quedo what Edo has opened his now distance person. A coyard Edo here, aunt so.
Okay, just come today, yeah, it's now so had kid. We got one more question out there. Mr. Just only spend $100 did in the rate twin arrows the Saheliya. Shini Beshbans and Kodo Aden Ha. The Haadol the Yasa Hosno Pape Lani in the. He just texted me again. Did that N20 git Leshiki Benachin. I guess our Copper Mine chapter led Bitchno the Happy Teen don't lay but chapter house agent stop by Bubbit Neat Lesion. Though their parking lots can be paid the Stochin. Even as in RDC committee, they argued so it would Christian weather Christmas no whole need not run AI. They already know, you guys already know. Does she?
Okay, this question is going to be pertaining to Leander. I guess it's Leander? Yes. Yeah, this question kind of involves a lot of people that are by First Windmill and Second Windmill, and it contains the cattle that we have up there. And my question, or the question that I have to forward to you is, would it be a lot better and more sufficient for you guys if we can keep our cattle 30 to 40 feet away from you guys is working your right away? Or do you guys just not care? They're just hanging around? Because we know that sometimes, I mean, we've been, because I've been around a lot of roads and where cattle are just kind of like mixed up in the middle of everything. And it causes chaos. We all know it's a common sense, but I'm pretty sure a lot of us keep thinking, what can we do to help? Because I know that we're really grateful that this road is coming up. I mean, we're finally glad that we're heard, that First Windmill, Copper Mine, and all the way out through the Chi, we finally got heard. It's finally going to go through, which is we're really grateful. And we also do feel really bad for people that where the road has come to a collapse. I do apologize, and I feel really bad for you guys because I know it was really easy for you guys to get from point A to point B. Now you guys have to kind of like go through all the alphabets just to get the page. I understand how you guys feel. It was the same route that we were doing when we had to go from First Windmill, come all the way back out this way just to get the page. So it's just kind of. We just all feel for each other right now. But back to what I was saying, would it be a lot better if we can hear it from you saying, yes, keep your cattle away from the road, keep your cattle away from the equipment that we have, 20 to 30 feet. If that's what you guys want, can you guys ask for it? Or if you guys can get a hold of our grazing man or Calvin and see if you can write a memo out to the CIZ holders, the AE holders, to the LO holders, to all the people that's got cattle that normally roam around the N20 that you guys are going to be fixing for us. So.
It does bring up a very good point, and I just want to I'll talk about what he brought up, and I'll add a few more things to it. At FNF Construction, one of our most important roles is to make sure everybody gets to go home to their families at night. In other words, safety is of our utmost importance. When you translate that into what he brought up, you think about the number of trucks that we're going to have, the equipment that's going to be running, and everything else. Not only do we want to ensure the safety of our employees, but any kind of accident that happened between a truck and some cattle or horses or anything like that, it's not only bad for the equipment, it's bad for the employees, but it's also bad for the livestock. And what we're doing out here, I don't want us to leave and you guys think, well, I lost 3 head of cattle during that construction site. I don't want to have that happen. I do know when we put in for this project at the beginning, there was no discussion of fence along. They were going to open this road without any fence or anything, and it blew my mind to put that much traffic in an open range. Luckily now we're going to be putting fence in. I consider the fence to be a safety feature, both for the construction and for the traveling public when we get done. There's other things on the critical path. I consider getting the road paved is number one, we have contract date that we have to meet. But I also want to get the fence started as fast as possible. We're going to be putting in a 4-strand barbed wire fence. Bottom strand will be smooth, no barbs on the bottom. But we would greatly appreciate anything that can be done to help keep the livestock a safe distance from our work. I believe the fence is going in on average 150 feet from the center line of what we're building is a road, and sometimes that varies from what's out there. But you know, as soon as we can get that fence in, the sooner you guys can relax about whether your cattle are out playing in the road, you know. So anything we can do to help spread the word to other people, if there's somebody we can contact to get a memo written out. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to keep them a safe distance away or not. Right now we're planning on them being out there working right along with us and doing what we can to get through it. You know, I hope for the best and expect the worst in that situation.
3 stakes.
I'm not going to go that far.
Copper mine just Any more questions? Later.